Good evening, everyone. Thanks for taking your time out of your schedules to join the webinar this afternoon. And as the slide, welcome to the Blue Room. Hope you enjoy the webinar today. So before we begin the webinar, we have just a little housekeeping. So the webinar itself would be for 20 minutes. We'd have a Q&A for 10 minutes after that. And just a reminder, when submitting questions, if you could submit it to everyone and not just the host or me, so that it will be recorded in the webinar. My name is Jeremy John. I'm Network Engineer Team Lead at BLU Networks Consultancy Limited, and I'll be walking you through this webinar today. So the webinar is entitled Remote Work the Virtual Team. Now, Sheldon would have presented part 1 to you last week, showing you an overview of how COVID has impacted businesses and how business strategies might need to change or adapt to the new guidelines that we have to live by. This webinar will show you how BLU has adapted to the COVID-19 pandemic and hopefully offer some kind of guidance to your businesses on how you can adapt as to this pandemic. So in today's agenda, we take a little look at BLU's approach to remote work. We look at using Microsoft SharePoint. We look at how we engineer all the way a virtual team right now, collaboration, mobility, and also how we interact with our customers. And after that, if you all have questions, we can do a Q&A as was mentioned before. So before we get into it, we need to understand what's BLU's approach to remote work. So last week, Sheldon would have mentioned the different types of company setups. So there's companies who store all their data on-premise. There's also companies who have a hybrid setup. So they have data on-premise and in the cloud. And then there are online-only companies. So all their data is stored on the internet, but secured. So BLU takes the last approach. All of our data is stored online. But this transition was made only about a year ago. Before that, we had to resort to sending email copies of files to each other and always needing to see who are the latest versions so that we can make updates and so on before we could send a file to the customer or move forward with it. After we transitioned to online data storage, link sharing became the norm. So instead of sending an email of a file, we could just send the link to someone, they could do their necessary checks or updates, and then let us know when they finish, and we could continue working on the same document. So it increased the efficiency that we had. Because of COVID-19, the government has mandated that businesses close their doors. Before the government mandated this, we were able to close our doors because we already had this setup in place. The only difference we have seen is all our meetings now became virtual, and we increased our use of Microsoft Teams to chat and collaborate, and we had more impromptu and planned meetings. But from the customer's perspective, they weren't seeing any difference except for the fact that we provide remote support to most of our customers, and we were even able to do a few implementations. So the layout of this webinar. Why is this webinar important to us? Well, at BLU, we use Microsoft, but the goal of this webinar is not to tell you to use Microsoft. It's to show you that technologies out there are available to help you cope with the changing dynamics of your business during the COVID-19 pandemic. Other companies choose to use tools like Zoom and WebEx and so on to collaborate within the company and even with their customers. But one of the biggest concerns to all of the companies during this time is how would their staff get access to their data? So collaboration could only come after staff has company data and they can do something with it. So we need to understand how we can access our data, although our staff aren't allowed in the offices. Then we'd also look at the flow of designing an engineering solution at BLU and the approval process and so on that we go through remotely. All of it is remotely for this webinar. So we'd also look at the benefits of moving to the online-only solution. For instance, not having to send as much emails to persons and utilizing different collaboration tools, as was mentioned before, Teams and WebEx and so on. Now we'll be looking at a day in the life of. Now, we are using BLU as our use case here just to show you what's possible. So what we need to keep in mind is that this setup might not fully match your business, but we can apply some of the concepts and mix and match it to suit the different needs that your business will have. So we can ignore the specific technology and look at the concepts as a whole. During the webinar, Anuj, who is a network engineer working with us, volunteered to collaborate with me on some of the short videos and presentations that I would be doing. So you'll be seeing Anuj's name coming up a lot in the webinar. So the first and the main tool that we use at Blue is SharePoint Online. So SharePoint is our online data storage facility that we use, and we combine it with the use of OneDrive. So all of the data is stored online, is secure and encrypted. And what SharePoint and tools like SharePoint allow you to do is to spin up intranet sites with different permissions for your users. So there could be a site for HR containing only HR sensitive data, another site for accounts, and we have a site for engineering as well if you see there. So it allows you to separate the data and present it in a nice web page that users can access easily. You can do this using predefined templates, or you can customize any site to meet your needs. Here, what I did is I did a demo SharePoint site, just for the purposes of the webinar. So I put a screenshot here so you could see what a SharePoint site could look like. It's not the prettiest SharePoint site, but it's just there to show you some of the things that we can accomplish. So now we'll be playing a short video showing how we can interact with the SharePoint site. So you'd see me here going through the Blue homepage, and then you'd see me switching to the webinar demo site. You'd see me showing the calendar where we could join the Teams meeting right from the SharePoint site. Look at the group calendar. So whoever has access would see the information. You even see me there showing you how to fix a broken link in the site. Now we sped up the video just to show you what's possible, and we would have snipped some of the parts. Here you're seeing how easy it is to interact with Word Online. You'd see me editing content, and a lot of people are afraid to use online document editors. But you can see here that it looks fine with no latency or anything like that. So it's just to show us what's possible using the online editing tools. And in this case, Microsoft Word Online. You could even see me there commenting and specifically mentioning Anuj. And what this would do is he would get an email saying, with the exact quote of the comment, and when he clicks the email, he could go to the part of the document that would need his attention and make any necessary changes from there. So he could collaborate after the fact, or as we can see coming up in real time. And at the end there, you saw a beautiful feature where you could just open the same document in Word and continue editing. Now we keep mentioning collaboration, and we'll see how Blue and companies in general could collaborate. Now in Microsoft Office, the device that we use to collaborate doesn't matter. So I could be editing a Word document on my phone while someone else edits it on the desktop version of Microsoft Word, and someone else uses the web version. It doesn't matter. All of us can collaborate and edit the document in real time. Now I mentioned Word, but we could do it in Excel and PowerPoint and so on. There's also features where you could see where the person is editing, and there's a feature in Word that automatically locks the section of the document you're editing. So for instance, I'm editing a sentence. If Anuj tries to edit the sentence at the same time, you'll see something letting you know that the section is locked, so you'd be able to wait until I finish making my changes. So it just shows you some of the collaboration that's possible using the collaboration software out there. And now we just look at a brief demo of collaboration happening in Microsoft Word and Microsoft Word Online, which Anuj is using, and I'm using the desktop client. So although we're using the two different clients, you can see the collaboration happening in real time. You can see the typos and everything recorded there in real time. So Anuj is editing at the bottom and I'm editing at the top. Again, no delays or latency with the real-time collaboration. So it can cut the time that it would take us to edit a document in half if both of us work together to make the changes that we need to make. A simple demonstration, but just shows you what's possible. Now, we mentioned Microsoft Teams before, and at BLU, that's one of the main collaboration tools we use internally. Teams has features that ties into your calendar, so you can see all the meeting events and so on that you have in your Outlook client or your Office Online directly from the Microsoft Teams calendar. It facilitates instant meetings, easily scheduling meetings, and we can schedule meetings for our channel where a person is discussing similar topics to see the meeting and join in as necessary. It allows screen sharing, like many of the tools out there. Zoom and WebEx are two of the most popular ones, where you can allow remote control of the desktop and so on. And now we just look at a video showing the collaboration that's possible using Microsoft Teams. So you're seeing here me using the Meet Now feature. So you can rename the meeting to anything that's pertinent to you at the point in time. You can adjust your microphone and video settings. And when you click join now, you join the meeting room alone. And then you have the option of adding anyone you want. So for instance, I'd add Anuj and the meeting would automatically call him. So once he's available, he join the meeting and we can begin collaborating immediately. And you can continue adding persons as necessary. So right there, we just had an impromptu meeting to fulfill customer needs. And we'd also look at scheduling meeting from within Teams. So this meeting scheduling is similar to the Microsoft Office meeting scheduling, where you could have a title for your meeting. We could include the required attendees. In this case, I'd invite Sheldon because we needed to prepare for this webinar. So we had a few meetings where we would have gone through the content together. Then we can add a channel because we have a channel focused on this webinar and future webinar. So anyone on the team and the channel could also join the meeting. Then we can add details just like any other meeting. So it shows you what's possible from right within the Microsoft Teams client. And once we're finished, we can just hit send and the meeting will be created like any other meeting. Now, at BLU, we love to use whiteboarding. When we have to talk about a customer, talk about the issues that they might have, or even design a solution for a customer, we use whiteboards. In the office, we have 3 whiteboards that we love to use. But because of the current pandemic situation, we can't go there to whiteboard together. So what's the other option that we have? Well, Microsoft has a whiteboard built in that we could use from within a Teams meeting or a dedicated app that we could use and share design ideas and so on before putting it into a document or doing anything else with it, getting the team's approval. It helps save time with a lot of the approval process. So we look at a short video now showing how Anuj and I would have collaborated to design a customer network. So they would have had some issues, latency issues and so on. We'd have discussed it and we'd have come up with a solution. So an accounts company might use a whiteboard differently to a banking company. But what it shows is the capability to whiteboard and bounce ideas of your teammates before moving forward with a finished product. And so Anuj and I would have done the whiteboard here. But then we need a finished diagram that we could pass to the customer and even share internally with the rest of the team. So we move from this to a finished diagram using Visio. Because we were able to conceptualize the diagram, we were able to decide all of the different components we need to satisfy the customer's request. So we were able to come up with a bill of materials. So that we could send this to accounting so that they could reach out to the vendors and get the pricing that we could then pass to the customer so that they could decide whether or not they want to move forward with the solution. And we could use the same diagram to explain the proposed network setup. So it shows you us meeting on Teams, discussing the collaboration, having a whiteboard session, a finished diagram with a corresponding document that we could use to do different things, all aimed at satisfying our customers' requests. Now, mobility mightn't be as big an issue right now because of COVID-19. Most of us are confined to our homes and working from home. But I know for me at least, I like to work from different areas within my home. So sometimes I work inside using the laptop, but then sometimes we need a bit of fresh air. So I'll go outside, I'll use my tablet or even my mobile phone to edit a document. And what this video that's playing in the background there would show is me editing the same document that I was editing with Anuj before on my mobile phone, showing that I would lose very little, if any, functionality using the mobile application for my phone. And when I'm finished, I can easily switch back to the online version or the desktop version and continue my editing. So it really shows the capabilities that are there, not just in Microsoft Word, but in online editing tools, really allowing mobility. And we mentioned before customer interaction. What we do is we try to use tools our customers would feel comfortable with, so that when we interact with them, they feel like they're in a safe and secure environment. So some of our customers use Microsoft Teams, other customers use Skype, some use Zoom, some use WebEx, and different customers use different tools. Some customers even give us VPN access so we can remote into their network and make changes as necessary once the proper change management is there. But the point is that no matter what tool the customer needs or uses, we could use that to interact with them and make sure that the customer is satisfied. So because we might use Microsoft Teams as our preferred tool, your company might use something different. But all companies need to interact with their customers in some way to ensure that they can reach their customer base and fulfill their needs. What's the takeaway from this, guys? Well, even after COVID-19, your company can continue benefiting from the technology that we put in place. Because you might put technology in place now to deal with the pandemic, but the benefits that are there could move forward into your future. For instance, the online data storage. After the pandemic has passed, if, say, an insurance company needs to come to do a mortgage or assess a home to provide a mortgage or insurance or something like that, they could send their insurance agent to the site and they could access the company database and input data from on site once they have access to the company data from wherever they are. And what we need to keep in mind, and I brought this slide directly back from the last webinar, is that not all businesses are the same. So while I mentioned before, we use BLU as a use case in this scenario, it doesn't mean that how we approach collaboration and working remotely would exactly suit your needs. So you need to take the time and look at your business and see what is your critical application and how does your data need to be accessed. You might have data on premise that you can't share to the cloud, so maybe a VPN might work better for you. Or you might have a combination of on-site data and cloud data, so you need a mix of probably a VPN and some sort of file storage application online, or maybe you might just need collaboration between the two. Whatever the need is, you need to sit down and work that out within the company. Or if you need help, we'd be happy to sit down, discuss your company setup, and help you make the decision as to what tools you could use to satisfy your needs. And we just need to remember that after COVID-19, things may not be the same, but your company will come out more efficient than it was before. Because as was mentioned before, you could take that new technology and serve your customers better, even though you now have the mobility that you need. And as we mentioned, mobility, you can have better mobility with your staff as they can access your data from anywhere remotely on safe and secure devices. So guys, that's basically what we wanted to share with you in the webinar today. And now if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask and we can look at it for you.
So guys, we can do this question thing two ways. You could submit the questions to everyone, so everyone will benefit from seeing the questions, and all the people on the team could actually pull the questions as well. All right, or try this the last time. Unmuting the mics caused some problems. So let's start with submitting the questions that you may have via chat.
I've just seen Terrence's message.
Or he message you directly?
How safe is Teams? He submitted it to everyone.
Okay.
Right. So there's data online talking about how Microsoft secures their data, and Teams along with SharePoint and so on. And it talks about the encryption that they use. If you want, we could always chat with you after the webinar to discuss a little more about some of the security issues that you said you may have seen with Teams.
Okay. So
But based on my experience, go ahead, Sheldon.
no, Jeremy, I just saw the next question. Sorry. So Terrence, we would really love to see some of those security issues and discuss them with you. As a Microsoft partner, the documentation we have speaks to the security and, whenever necessary, the vulnerabilities with all the platforms. So it'll be very interesting to actually learn what those security issues that you noticed would have been, so we could actually try and understand more and push that further.
Anyone else has any other questions?
Could I, are y'all hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I think I will go faster asking than typing. I noticed, well, when you sent out the the link to register this time, I see you all changed the platform because didn't we use Zoom the last time, I think? I just wanted to find out, is there like some security reasons why you would have changed, if you would recommend that we, let's say, use Cisco WebEx instead of the last platform?
Right.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I could take it. Yes. So I don't know if you saw online, there's a lot of articles about Zoom and some security issues that they are facing right now. So Zoom is currently releasing a lot of updates to try to fix those issues. So although they might be fixing the issues, in the interest of making you guys feel more secure, we decided to switch the platform for the webinar to WebEx to ensure that you guys see the security and so on in it. But right now, Zoom is working to address those security issues that would have been seen online. That answers your question, Claudia? Okay, thanks. Someone asked me to do the demo again and how to navigate. I did a demo on the meeting within Teams. I showed a short video on setting up the meetings and so on. If you want, I can have the video playing in the background again. So it just shows the Meet Now feature, and it also shows the new meeting. But if you look on the side there, you would see there's an option to chat where you can chat individually with your team members or create a group chat, or you could create different channels within Teams for different purposes. And once the channels are created, then once you add persons to the channels, you can have discussions on different topics. That helps? Okay, good. Any other questions?
Jeremy, oh, somebody else. Go ahead.
No, they don't have any other question.
Okay, I wanted to just ask a question and just to prompt some discussion.
Right.
Present situation, COVID-19, the challenge that a lot of businesses will face with is the ability to be able to sustain the operations regardless of location, right? I want us to draw this point so people understand. The use of SharePoint, Teams, and all those collaborative applications. I want you to speak to the location transparency of these applications, the ability to not be concerned with where you are physically worldwide and just focus on delivering productivity.
That's a good question. So, for instance, SharePoint. So, when you design a SharePoint site, something that you might notice is each SharePoint site that you create comes with its own time zone. That's because SharePoint facilitates access no matter where you are in the world. So for instance, we could be in Trinidad here with our team in one time zone, and we have somebody on the other side of the world with another team in another time zone. So we could set up the SharePoint sites to cater to those teams. And even say, for instance, I need to travel for a conference or something, and I need to work. Once I have access to the internet, I could access the data on SharePoint. Obviously, I need to authenticate via Microsoft Authentication or two-factor authentication and so on if it's set up. But I'd be able to access the data no matter where I am. And that's one of the big benefits of SharePoint and Teams. Because, for instance, on my mobile phone, I have the Teams application installed. So if someone calls me on Teams, I would see it coming on my computer and on my phone. So even if I'm not home, once I have access to data, I can still talk to the team from anywhere. So it really helps mobility no matter where you are in the world once you have an active internet connection or mobile data for that matter.
Add a part B to that question, Jeremy. How is the integration from a storage perspective? How is the integration of OneDrive? How seamless is it into SharePoint and Teams and so on? How is the benefit to the average organization?
Good. So by default, when you have a Microsoft subscription for your company, you have allocated is a 1 terabyte SharePoint storage. And then you also have that same amount of space for each individual user depending on the license. So your OneDrive storage is separate from the corporate SharePoint storage. Now a terabyte is a lot of space, but if a company runs out of storage space, you have the option of purchasing additional SharePoint data. So no matter how much one employee uses their OneDrive data, it wouldn't affect the total organization storage. Does that answer the question? Or your question for you?
Yeah, that's good, Jeremy. That's good.
All right, I have another quick question because I think we almost at the end. What I wanted to find out, all right, as you're saying with SharePoint, you could be like any part of the world. Now, let's say I have to literally leave Trinidad and let's say go to maybe UK or whatever. Would my laptop, let's say when I sign on and go into SharePoint, pick up that time zone, or do I have to like set it to the new time zone that I'm in?
Right, so the SharePoint site, the time zone on the site wouldn't change. Your laptop, that depends on the settings. But what happened though is when you sign in there, if Microsoft itself could detect it, because it know you normally signs in from Trinidad, so it could prompt you with some sort of two-factor authentication and so on to make sure that you are who you say you are. But with respect to the time zone on the SharePoint site, it would stay whatever the administrator set it as. So the rest of the team that's working from Trinidad would continue to see the time in Trinidad. So you might just need to adjust the time zone on your laptop.
Oh, did that answer the question?
She typed okay, but
Oh, okay, all right.
yeah.
Right, any other questions before we wrap up, guys? Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay, so because we don't have any more questions, we can move past now. So just to close up the webinar, as with the last webinar, we have a promo code that you could use remote with the virtual team to book a free one-hour consultation for the next 30 days. You could send the email to the email address on the screen there, sales@bluenetworks.com. There's also a related blog article to this webinar that you could see here. It's how can SharePoint Online help you during COVID-19. So if you go to the BLU Networks site, you would see the related blog article. So once again, thank you for joining the webinar, and I hope that it was informative and will help you to make some decisions to your company. Bye, guys.